Alright, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to find an account, update an account, pause an account, suspend an account, show that it's paid in full, increase balances, decrease balances, etc. So when you're in the portal here, what you can do is go to this global account search right here. That way you don't have to figure out which bucket, so to speak, you put your the account in. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to put in the name Hall and see where Mr. Hall is. There he is, Gary Hall. Again, so he's an accelerator, and again, I didn't have to look around for him in the different accounts. All I know is I got to check on my desk, and so anyways, we're going to click on Mr. Hall's name here. And if you don't mind, I'm going to start at the bottom of this list. And so what we see here is a whole list of different things that we can do here. All right? And so if you don't mind, I'm going to start at the bottom here. So again, right down here at the bottom, you'll oftentimes see an option there that'll say delete permanently. And what that means is if you've accidentally put an account in the wrong bucket, or you didn't even mean to turn them over at all, then and you catch it within 24 hours, that's the criteria. If you catch it within 24 hours, you can click on that, submit it, and what it'll do is it'll just get rid of it entirely as if it was just one big oopsie. Next one is you got mail return. So that's that is to say that is for when mail comes back to you for whatever reason, you're letting us know. Suspend service means exactly that. It's a pause button, and this is generally used when they call in with a great sob story. And so basically they've wrecked their car, they're out of a job, they are in the hospital, and you believe them. They'll always tell you how sob stories, but this is a story that you believe, and you don't see any reason they should get another reminder or another collection call. And so you're just going to press pause for a second. What it does is it's going to pause the account for 50 days, and at 50 days, at the end of 50 days, if you haven't turned it back on, which would be reinstating it, and you would also do it right here. So if you don't reinstate it, you'll get an email saying, hey, these accounts are about to expire. What do you want to do? So that's the pause button. Then you have a cancel accelerator and assign to transferable collections, or cancel accelerator and assign a profit recovery. You'd basically use these if they're calling in and they're being stubborn and they're basically saying, hey, I'm not going to pay you. Then you can just kind of get the show on the road and moving on to the next phase of collections there. Stop service. We want to see a lot of these. This is telling us, Transworld, stop everything because they've paid me in full. Or stop everything because I just want to cancel this account. We're going to write it off. We're going to give them charity care, so to speak, and just do away with this. Sometimes you'll see in your account something that'll say stop service bankruptcy. And what that means is that we found they were bankrupt, and so we've paused the account. In another tutorial, we'll show you what to do when they go bankrupt. Then you've got increase and decrease and reduce balance. And again, this is because maybe they've come back in, or you made a mistake and you need to increase the balance. Reduce balance doesn't mean they've given you a dime. It just means you put in the wrong amount and you want to change that. When they've given you just a little bit of money, then you would go up here to partial payment. So again, you've got a stop service button down here for paid in full. If they just pay you a little bit, you've got partial pay and then partial pay suspend. Let me explain the difference. Partial payment, so let's say they owed you $800 and they paid you $150. You would go in here and you'd put in $150, and you don't have to do the check or the payment type. That's completely for you. You can just leave it blank if you want to. But anyways, you'd put in $150. You'd go down here and click submit. Now, let me explain why you would ever use this versus the suspend button. If they don't have the respect to call you and set up payment arrangements, it is my recommendation that you just do the partial pay, you put in the amount, and then you click submit. Let me explain why. What this does is it updates the balance in our portal, and then they're going to get the next collection demand or reminder letter, whatever it is. And it's actually good that they call you the next week a little ticked off. Hey, well, I just sent you a check for $150 and I'm still getting stuff. What's going on here? Well, see, now you got them on the phone. And you can simply tell them you got that because you didn't call in and set up payment arrangements, right? And that's the whole point. Either pay it in full or call in and respect us enough to set up something. but don't just send us $5, even $150, and just assume that's going to appease us. No, no, no. We want to establish respect to get this bill paid, and so that's what that does. Now, let's say he called it ahead of time and he made payment arrangements. Not before you get the payment, but when you get the payment, you would put $150 and then you'd hit suspend. And what that does is we're going to update our records, and then we're not going to send him the next letter. What we want to do is we want to see, is he going to pay on time 2 weeks later or a month later, whenever he promised to. And if he does, well, great, then the account will just go away at 50 days, just like our other suspend feature would. But let's say he pays you one time, the next month goes around, and he doesn't pay you that second time. Well, again, you can come back in here, and it doesn't show it now, but right down here there's going to be a new button that'll be called reinstate. So you basically just reinstate the balance, and it picks right back up where it left off. So let's say he responded on the second demand. Well, it just pick right back up with a third demand, and it doesn't cost you another account or anything. So that's the difference. So you got mail return, a suspend bunch, which is a pause. You have cancel accelerator or profit recovery and move it to the next level quickly. You have stop service, which is paid in full or cancel. You have increase or reduce balance. And then you have partial pay, which is just for when they just send you some money. Then you have partial pay suspend when they've actually called you to set up payment arrangements. And it's that simple. If you got any other questions, you can email your rep with the link over here or call the number. If you have a more technical question, you can go to the support center. It's really that easy. Thanks.